How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Wish. Yes, many have been saying, hey, have you been able to actually take a look at its performance today? And of course, we're going to be talking about it inside of this video. So before I get started, let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. You guys know I'm looking forward to seeing that gap fill, but hey, we're going to go into it a bit more. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information and as well as the recent institutional ownership. Have there been any new filings? And then on top of that, does it still continue to have short squeeze potential? And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. This is key because we want to know, were institutions loading up on shares today? We're going to find that out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Wish. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $7.18, being up 3.46%. On the low, it tested $6.86, and then on the high, testing $7.47. When we take a look at our volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 41.099 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 41.212 million shares. So we performed right at average, and we saw some appreciation in the stock price as well. So now when we take a look at our chart, right now we're using the 1 year daily. You can see from the RSI down below, we are right at 39.60. So yes, we are in the oversold territory. When we take a look at the 21-day EMA, it is set at $7.91, and as far as for the 100-day, it is at $10.58, and we are below these levels. But one thing that I've been talking about is wanting to see us fill in this gap, right? So what we need to do is reclaim the 21-day EMA here at $7.91. We ended up testing $7.47 before hitting some resistance, and this has been an area of resistance in the past as well. So if we're able to actually get past this, then the next area that I'm looking out for us to come up to is around to the 780s, and then essentially with momentum being able to get to the $8 range. That's what we want to look forward to, and then also being able to use a 21-day EMA as a support area. This is very essential, especially if we want to see it come back to really fill in this gap where we know is right here around $9.40. But for the most part, we ended up having a green day on the day, so that was good. So we want to see that continue. So if it does decide to pull back, we saw we had some support today at $6.86, and of no surprise, you can see, hey, this has been an area of support as of late for Wish, especially since that earnings was released and we ended up getting that news and the stock price ended up coming down. So you want to see these levels maintained, and you want to see higher highs of support, right? You see how we have a lower area of support here? It got better. So before we were here around 617. Now look where we're at right now. We have support at 660. So you want to see that ascension continuing. And if we have that continuation, of course, you should be able to actually reclaim the 21-day EMA and look into filling in that gap. So let's see what happens. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Wish. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we could see for August the 30th, we have a filing here from Vanguard Growth and Income Fund Investor Shares that purchased 300 shares. I know you're saying like, hey, that's nothing compared to how big Vanguard actually is. Yeah, so that's a position that we have here for a recent filing. The previous ones we've kind of gone over already, but hey, that's a new position opened up on the 30th. So now when we take a look at the short interest, scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 9.2 million, updated 22 minutes ago. And for the short ball free rate, it is at 0.73%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, you can see for the close of the 25th, it was at 50.94. The close for the 26th was at 51.01. And then the close for last week, Friday, was at 45.21. So it went down a little bit, but it'll be very interesting to see what it will be later on in the evening today. But one thing that I am fully aware of I am still bullish on Wish. I'm looking forward to seeing that move to the upside. And then on top of that, it does have short squeeze potential. So let's see what happens. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Wish. So we can see here on the inflow, it's at 65.55, and then on the outflow, it's at 72.75. So we end up having an outflow day. So when we see the large, it's 0 on the inflow side. On the medium, it's 48.94, and then on the small, it's at 16.61. Now on the outflow side, on the large, we have 0.64. On the medium, we have 55.01, and then on the small, we have 17.10. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for August the 30th, it was an outflow day. We had an outflow day last week, which I talked about, and also on the 25th to be exact. The last week I meant was on the Friday. So analyzing the data, one thing that we could see clearly, and I know there's questions that have come up, we ended up having an outflow day. Why were we green? So you need to understand, as far as for overall volume is concerned, it's nowhere near where it used to be. So even if you have a lot of selling going on that particular day, it's not going to have as big of an impact on the overall stock, especially if there are many who are holding shares. And also on top of that, you still have some buying that is going on the other side as well. So I just want to make sure you're taking that into consideration. And I'm also going to be talking about this in the final thoughts, because there has been some changes when it comes to the overall short interest, and it does have an impact in regards to when we're taking a look at these order flows. But for the most part, seeing the green day is good because we want to see this momentum continue, and I'm looking for that gap fill. But anyway, let's jump into the final thoughts right now. So for my final thoughts for Wish stock, I'm looking forward to seeing a move to $7.63, because I feel once it gets to this level, it can really start gaining momentum from there. I'm not saying it's going to be happening tomorrow, but that is a level to look out for, and that's what I have as far as for my overall strategy. You're going to have to do some more homework and more due diligence on your side so you can make the decision that is right for you, but that's just a level that I'm looking out for. When we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. We saw it had a short volume ratio in the 50s, and now it's at the 45s. And one thing I'm curious about is to see what it's going to be later on in the evening, because this does have an impact on the stock price. So if we don't end up getting a lot of volume and we don't end up getting any buying pressure whatsoever, we could see pressure on the stock. But here's the thing though, if we end up having a lot of buying that goes down on the day, even if the short interest is very high, keep in mind, even if we have a lot of outflows, we could still end up having an overall green day. So I want to make sure that you're aware of that, and this happens quite a bit with a lot of stocks. But like I said, you have to have that buying that is going on, and we do have a lot of buying. Because even if we take a look at the long-term prospects, yes, there is some potential there for this stock. And many are aware of that, they understand that, and I'm pretty sure we do have institutions who have taken notice of that. And we've saw on Fintel, yes, they have been purchasing shares as well. So I just wanted to make sure you guys were informed, you know about this. I look forward to seeing how Wish performs for the rest of the week, and we'll be talking real soon.